I briefly want to talk about housing in general. I know I have done many videos over housing. I've done many videos over proper housing. And I know people have challenges over housing. I have said this many times that people spend a lot of money doing housing and it doesn't benefit them. But here I am. I want you to see the houses are really very nice houses. But I don't know who convinces you that goats really have issues with the wind or air or coldness, you know, like this kind of arrangement in our country here. We do not have a very cold weather that is really affecting goats. You get it? Do you know the reason? Because for us, our wind or our air is not that cold. You get it? So when you think about the housing, I do not deny, I want you to quote me very, very right. I do not deny having a raised house. I'll give you an example of you sleeping in a flat and me sleeping in a grass-hatched house. We all sleep, we all stay healthy and everything. So raising a house is a fancy. It's upon you who really want to do that. But even the ground house works better. It really does well. That's what I'm telling you. And I always tell you that I do that at my farm. You get it? So let nobody lie to you that if the coldness is much, let's say if it rains, let's say this normal coldness of the night can really affect animals. Let me give you an example. I want you to touch on your skin. You're having a very soft skin and it has very small hairs. But just imagine, who have ever checked on the goat's skin? Try and check on your goat's skin. See the thickness of the skin. Then on top of that, look at the hairs that are on the skin. Why do they have that? For us, the reason why we put on clothes is because we have a very soft skin. But the goats have those hairs because they need to do what? They need to protect themselves from the coldness. They have no clothes. So don't ever close the goat's house because you're thinking about of the coldness. This house you see, it's not bad. There is ventilation, there is good, good air entering, but it's not perfect. You get it? That small ventilation you see can cause a lot of trouble. Why? Because the air cannot exchange like the way we want. First of all, the animals have the hair, they have bigger skins, you get, which can protect them from the wind or from the weather. You get it? But you think that animals are supposed to stay like human beings. No, that's not the case. And you'll have a lot of trouble. So the difference between a raised house and a ground house. Raised house is fancy, though it is hygienical in one way or the other. But some people raise the houses and they make mistakes. Think about of raising a house, then putting in the gaps, which is recommendable. The reason of those spaces is to allow the urine and the dung to go down, so that the animal stays in a dry space, in a dry place. But people do mistakes and put the timbers together. So if you do that and you reach in your house and the dung and urine is clogged up, just know that is not a good raised house. Because the sense of raising is to allow the urine and the dung to go down. But you have not accepted, you've not done it properly. So that means the sense of raising the house is not existing. And even if you do that very well, I want you to quote me here very well, because many comments have come over this. If the house has a very good gaps under the floor of a raised house, the urine and dung will go down. If the urine and dung goes down, and you do this to allow the goats to go underneath where the urine and dung have gone, do you think it makes sense? It does not make sense. Because your sense was to separate urine and the dung from the goats. But you are allowing them to go underneath the house. What do you have to do? Close off the underground. Then after closing off, don't allow any goat to go, but leave a gap for the guy who cleans to go and clean and put it out, then close. So that is the sense of a raised house. Two, I will talk about of the grass. This grass, the cycle of some worms are completed in the grasses. An animal puts it down, it hatches, or it hides there, waiting for the host to come and attack it. Some of them even go down, they produce from the ground, they multiply and come back in the house. So if you don't remove this, this is a habitat for the worms. You're completing their cycle. You're simplifying their work to do their cycle complete. What do? Remove every grass and allow it to be like this. So this will cut off the cycle of the worm. Two, you see this dew, the morning dew. It always habitates a virus which causes or which brings off is the disease which attacks in the mouth, even in the gut, and then an animal has a lot of blisters. Most of the time, this is the causative agent. This helps the virus to get habitated and gets easy way of getting into the mouth of the animal. So if you break this, you sweep it off or you cut it off and you leave it like this, that disease is also cut off. So some other thing, the animals stay in. Animals, goats in nature, they really love outside life. Don't ever allow to force the animals in the house. Like you see, they have closed them. They have been there since morning up to now. So that means they are defecating, they are urinating, the ammonia gas is really going into their lungs. You find that those animals will start to cough, frequently. They will be coughing. Why? Because they get enough chances of smelling their fumes from their urine. But if you allow them to be outside, they will urinate all over, the ammonia gas will be going away, your animals will stay healthy, and they really love to stay outside. Don't force them to go inside. Just let them go on their own. Those that wants to go in, let them go. Those that wants to stay outside, even in the night, let them stay outside. Then, in that case, if you force them in nature of animals, animal does not start the fight. You will not find a goat fighting to open the door, but it will knock the neighbor to open the door. It will knock the neighbor so that the neighbor can knock the door and they go out. It's the same thing even with cows. I want you to notice it. If your animals wants to run away, they always use that tactic. So what happens in that process? If they want to go out, they will start fighting each other so that they break up that chaos of getting out. So the moment they fight in there, if they are pregnant, you're going to see miscarriages. There is no any cause, but because of that can cause miscarriages because of fighting for their motive of getting out. You get it? So that is one of the things that you're going to have. Two, they are going to break their legs. You get it? They are going to fight each other. You know what comes out of the fight. So you people, some other thing I want you to notice. It doesn't make sense, even if the house is raised or not raised, and you allow this kind of sweeping. I want you to do it. You see? Underneath, it's a good sweeping. You get it? They are sweeping down. That's how it is supposed to be. But after sweeping, then you put the dung here. Do you get it? And this is the yard where they relax from. I don't know whether it makes sense or no sense. So sometimes, you guys, we get issues with farming, not because they are supposed to be. It is because of our management and skill before you start. I want to tell you one thing, you guys. If you really want to be a good farmer, if you really want to be a perfect farmer, before you invest, or before you see your friend investing, tell them to subscribe for my channel. Let them check it. Let them check. Check about housing, check about goat management, check about everything. So you guys, those are the errors that farmers do. But those errors makes farmers lose money. You get it? For instance, if you put in your animals, they go under that conditions, they will start dying. In case there is some few diseases, they will shoot because they are stressed and a lot of that. Let me, I think, just let you understand this. Let me just wish you the best, and bye-bye for now.